Sports is still at a standstill in the Bahamas as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Less than a handful of regattas came off before the pandemic started, and there's no telling if any more will take place for the rest of the year. This morning, Jonathan Benson speaks with a boat owner to get his thoughts on the future.
The COVID-19 pandemic has put a big strain on the Bahamian government, and with this in mind, owner of the Thunderbird, the Reverend Dr. Philip McPhee, believes more help for regattas now needs to come from the private sector.
The Bahamian community corporations have not been as attractive to helping regattas, and we've tried to put it entirely in the hands of the government, which I think is the wrong idea. They ought to be the supporting cast of regattas. And if we do not go back to that concept, sit down with people who have invested their money's time and energy in bringing about this now global enterprise of sloop sailing and sailing in general, we're going to lose regattas completely. The government cannot sustain regattas to the way that we are asking them to do at this present time. They give us a grant, and that grant ought to help, not to take over or to be the agent for a complete successful regattas. We've made a big mistake in that. Many of the associations are lazy. They depend totally on the government. They don't try to raise no funds and depend solely on the government to do everything. When you do that, you lose your position of leadership.
The discussion has been ongoing as to whether or not sloop sailing will become the national sport of the Bahamas. If that happens, Reverend McPhee believes some changes will have to be made.
If it's going to be the major sport, the national sport, it has to be in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, so that it could be aligned and get the kind of support from the government and the world. You can't be it can't be the national sport in the Ministry of Agriculture. That don't make much sense to me, because as we are speaking, regatta development really don't play no major part in the holistic program of sporting in this country.
Reverend McPhee also gave his thoughts on whether or not we will see any more regattas in 2020.
Sloop sailing will be the only sporting event that can bring the whole Bahamas together. I believe with all my heart that we will have at least 3 or 4 regattas for this year, which is badly needed, because it brings tremendous financial boosting to the various islands. It can't happen with no other sports that we are playing now. And I believe Bahamians and visitors are geared up now to see some sailing that we have missed basically for the entire year.
Jonathan Benson, ZNS Network News.